Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today our team gonna present about hazardous substance, which is used engine oil. Our team member consists of myself, Muhammad Nur Hakimi bin Muhammad Yusri, and then we have Akmi Hakim, Alif Amar Rafiq, and lastly Nurwa Isyakirin. For the user engine oil, we will explain about 5 things, which is firstly is the physical and chemical properties of the hazardous substance, and then the industry in which the chemical can be found and used. Thirdly, route of the chemical entry. Fourth, health effect, which is symptom and the target organs. And lastly, a control measure and prevention methods. Firstly, as I am Muhammad Hakimi, will explain about physical and chemical properties of the hazardous substance. Physical and chemical properties of the hazardous substance, which is the user engine oil. Okay, for the firstly, physical. For the color of the user engine oil, which typically is a dark brown to blacks, the color is due to the accumulation of soot and contaminant. And second is viscosity, which is thicker and more viscous compared to the new oil, which is a new oil before it become the user engine oil, as it degrade and accumulate particle, which is different from the new oil. And thirdly is the odor, which is often have a burn or strong petrol smell. And fourthly is a density slightly higher than the fresh oil or the new oil due to the presence of the heavy metal particle and other contaminant which is come from the engine itself. Okay, and then the chemical property of the hazardous substance. Firstly is a heavy metal, which is it contains lead, cadmium, zinc, chromium and other metal that come from engine wear and the breakdown of additive. Secondly is a polyclinic aromatic hydrocarbon, which is PAH. It's a group of organic compounds that are known for carcinogen form during the incomplete combustion of the hydrocarbon, which show the carcinogen effect, which show the dangers of the user engine oil. And thirdly is the acids. As the engine degrades, it can form a acidic compounds that can corrode engine part and cause a skin irritation, which is bring a harm for the engine itself and the human skin. And lastly is additives such as the degrade detergents, dispersants, and anti-wear agent that have undergone chemical change during use. Pass the slide to Alif Amar Rafiq to explain about the industry in which the chemical can be used or found.
Sharing. So right now, me, Alif Amar, I will be covering the part of the industry in which the chemical, which is the used engine oil, can be found and used. So in this part of presentation, I will be covering key sectors of industry that involves used engine oil, which is the automotive industry, manufacturing industry, agriculture and also construction industry. And in this part, I will also outline the purpose of engine oil and also the advantage of using used engine oil. So without further ado, I will start right now. Okay, so for the first industry, I will be covering about the automotive industry. So used engine oil is commonly found in places such as garage, repair shops and vehicle service centers, as vehicles like cars, motorcycles and trucks needed regular oil changes to keep their engine running smoothly. So it is because engine oil reduces the friction between moving parts, cooling the engine, and also helps cleans out harmful particles that may affect negatively towards the engine. So why is reusing the oil beneficial? So firstly, it is a cost-effective solution because instead of constantly buying new oil, refined oil can be used to save on expenses. So they do not need to spend money to buy new oils, which is very costly and may impact financially towards a company. So for the second point, recycling used oil helps reducing environmental harm, preventing millions of gallons of oil from polluting water and soil. And lastly, it conserves natural resources, reducing the need. Okay, so for the next industry, I will be talking about the agriculture industry. where machineries like tractors, harvesters, and plows require engine oil to keep operation efficient, because these machines are essential for planting, harvesting, and other farming activities. Therefore, they faces heavy use throughout the year, which means they need to be frequently changing. Okay, so for the next industry, I will be talking about the manufacturing industry. So, in the factories, they rely on generators, compressors, and other engine-powered machinery that all needed lubrication to avoid a costly breakdowns, which the companies need to spend a lot of money to repair their equipment or machinery. Therefore, instead of spending a lot of money to repair the machinery, they can implement a proactive action by implementing a correct or better maintenance for the machinery. For example, by regularly changing the engine oil of the machinery to ensure its lifespan. And also, besides that, by reusing engine oil, these factories can maintain energy efficiency and keep their machines running smoothly, so that the production does not need to be cut off, and ensure that it can be running for a long period of time, which can boost their company's production of any product that they produce. And also, it is also a sustainable practice too, as it cuts down on waste and reduce the overall environmental impact. And of course, it's a budget-friendly choice, because refined oil is a lot cheaper than buying a new oil, which keeps the production cost lower and will give a lot of benefits financially towards the company. So for the final industry, it will be the construction industry, which the industry relies on large machines like bulldozers, cranes, and excavators, which all often operates in challenging conditions. So because of this, these machines need regular oil changes to prevent overheating and ensure that they continue to function properly on demanding construction sites. So in this industry, using used engine oil provides several benefits, such as it helps in reducing waste, as re-refining oil means less oil ends up in landfills or as hazardous waste. And secondly, it supports sustainable project management, with construction companies increasingly being asked to demonstrate their commitment towards a more eco-friendly practices. And finally, it's a very cost-effective construction. It's very cost-effective because construction companies save on the high cost of new oil, especially on large machinery that requires a frequent maintenance.
Hello madam and everyone, my name is Muhammad Akmi Hakim and I'm from Batch Citizens Group number 2, and today my team and I would like to discuss about the used engine oil. And today I'm exploring how hazardous substance in used engine oil can enter on our bodies. Understanding this pathway is crucial for keeping ourselves safety and health and work. Let's dive in. Okay, there are 4 primary routes through which this chemical can absorb in our bodies. Firstly is a dermal, or we call skin contact, inhale, and secondly is inhalation, breathing in, and thirdly ingestion by swelling, and lastly ocular exposure or eye contact. Okay, each route has unique risks, and recognizing them help us implement effective safety measures. Firstly, we're gonna talk about the first point is about dermal exposure or skin contact. This occurs when used engine oil comes into contact with our skin, and then prolonged contact can lead to irritation, rashes, or dermatitis. Some harmful chemical can even be absorbed through the skin, leading to systemic health issues To reduce this risk, it's essential to wear proper gloves and protective clothing to ensure that we have access to hand washing station nearby. And next, second point is about inhalation. Inhalation, handling used engine oil in poorly ventilated areas can release harmful vapors and aerosols. Breathing this in cause respiratory respiration, coughing, and even long-term lung damage. To combat this, we should prioritize good ventilation, use respirator when necessary, and conduct regular air quality checks to ensure our work environment is safe. And now we gonna go to third point is discuss about ingestion. This can happen accidentally if we eat or drink without washing our hands after handling oil. Symptoms of ingestion may include nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain. To prevent this, it's crucial to avoid consuming food or beverage in area where used oil is present and to establish clear hygiene protocol that encourage frequent hand washing. Lastly or finally, we have ocular exposure, or we call that eye contact. This occurs to when oil splash into our eyes, leading to irritation or potential injury. Protective eyewear is essential, especially during oil changes or maintenance tasks. Training staff on the importance of eye protection can significantly reduce the risk of this incident. And last but not least, to summarize this, the four main routes of chemical entry from used engine oil are thermal, inhalation, ingestion, and eye contact. Each process specific health is that need to be managed through appropriate safety protocol. Understanding these routes help us tailor our safety measure effectively. Thank you from me, Akmi, and then I would like to pass to Wa'id to continue our sharing session about used engine oil.
Okay. So here is my part which I would like to present about health effect. So firstly, I would like to focus on symptoms. When we exposed to the hazardous chemical, the symptoms can differently depending on the type and amount of exposure. So here are the symptoms, which include skin, respiratory system, digestive tract, and lastly nervous system. Firstly, skin. Skin can make your skin become rashes, irritation, skin cancer, and dermatitis, as known as eczema. Next, respiratory system. If we inhale a lot of chemical, it can make acute effect, which is coughing, wheezing, and having a shortness of breath. So thirdly, digestive tract. If we swallowing the harmful chemical, it can make you feel nauseous, vomiting, and having an abdominal pain of stomach. Lastly, for the nervous system, it can make you feel dizziness, headache, and lastly, peripheral neuropathy, as known as nervous system damage or nerve damage. So we're going to the next part, which is target organ. So certain chemical can affect the body. So here are the main target organs that I would like to share. Firstly, we focus on skin, lungs, digestive tract, and lastly brain and nervous system. For the skin, if the chemical that came into contact with your skin, it can make your skin become irritation, rashes, and burns. So next, lungs. If we inhale to toxic chemical, it can damage your lungs, leading to breathing issue or long-term lung disease. So thirdly, digestive tract. If we swallowing harmful chemical, it can damage the stomach, leading to abdominal pain in severe cases, which is internal bleeding. So lastly, brain and nervous system. Some chemical can damage your brain, leading to memory issue or long-term nerve.
For explaining the health effect, which is the symptom and the target organ of the used engine oil. For me now, I will start now for the first countermeasure and the prevention. For the first countermeasure and prevention, which is engine control. For the first one is the ventilation. We implement the ventilation in the one place which is used engine oil is available there, to ensure the proper ventilation in area where the user oil is handled, in order to reduce the inhalation and exposure. By doing this, we can prevent from the effect or symptom which can be happen if we inhale or we expose it to the user engine oil. Okay, for the second one is the contaminant. By using a drip pan, funnel and other contaminant measure to prevent spill and leaks, by we storing the user engine oil in the one place, so the scent or the smell, and we can reduce the exposure the user engine oil from attacking our target organ. Okay, the next one I will handle to YE.
So for control measure and prevention, for my part is environmental control. It has two. Firstly, spill prevention. Implement measure for prevent spill and leak, such as regular maintenance equipment and using secondary containment system. Next, recycling programs. Encourage or having mandate recycling of used oil to minimize environmental contamination.
One of the simple yet most effective to protect ourselves is by using protective equipment or PPE. Why PPE is important? Used engine oil can be dangerous. It can irritate your skin, harms your lungs. It can, in the long term, even cause serious health problems like cancer. That's why PPE is essential. It helps keep this harmful substance away from our body. Firstly, always wear oil system glove. This example of a PPE. They keep your hands safe from direct touch with the oil. Neutral or neoprene glove work best. It's best to use when you're handling the used engine oil. Never handle used oil with your bare hands because it can cause irritation and long-term exposure can be hazardous. Okay, for the second point is the use safety goggles to protect our eyes. When you handle oil, it can splash and getting in your eyes. They can cause severe irritation. Make sure your goggles fit properly and offer complete eye protection. In some cases, respirators or masks may be necessary, especially if you are working in areas with oil fumes. This protects your lungs from harmful chemicals that you could inhale. And lastly, last but not least, we have wear protective clothes such as coverall or aprons. Keep all of your skin. Is also official to thoroughly remove these garments after handling oil to avoid spreading contamination. That's all from me. We continue to the next speaker.
Countermeasure and prevention, it will be administrative control. So the first one is training the workers. So the workers must know the hazards of used engine oil, including the presence of harmful chemicals like heavy metals inside the used engine oil. Why? It is because without proper training, mishandling could cause skin irritation, respiratory problems, and also chemical exposure to the workers. And the effects of that, it will lead to occupational illnesses, absenteeism, and increased medical costs for the organization. And so for the next one, it will be proper storage or disposal. It is because used oil must be kept in labeled, sealed containers in a designated area and disposed of following local regulations. It is due to improper storage or disposal can result in spills, fires, or even environmental conditions which is violating the regulations. And the effect from violating the regulation or improper storage and disposal, it can cause fines, reputational damage to the company, and also harm the ecosystems, which can affect the company's sustainability. So that will be the end of our presentation from me, Alif, Wa'i, Akmi, and Hakimi regarding the used engine oil. So thank you for listening.